All right, welcome, lads. I'm trying to stare at the camera, but I'm looking to the right, and I'm kind of looking to the left. But anyways, for those of you guys listening, welcome back. Here's my beautiful voice. We'll switch to the actual mic in a second. But today's episode of Banged Up with Bruce Oldham, this week's episode of the podcast, our guest is Ritchie, who's a good friend of mine, a fellow person from Parry Sounder, absolute beauty, and a pretty Canadian dude, and yeah, he gets it. So for those of you guys who don't know, Graham is a cross-country skier, not action sports, but nonetheless, the guy puts in more work than any of us in the action sports industry to begin with. Cross-country skiing is one of those sports that kind of has a place in Parry Sound, like hockey. Well, hockey's the biggest one, but cross-country skiing definitely has its place here. And it's one of those sports like running. You can really just push yourself mentally and physically. And Graham's out there pushing himself all the time. He's on the Canadian national team, been competing in World Cups for a while now. He's the same age as me, so he's 22 now. And just training, competing, and doing part-time school. But it's pretty cool to hear his story, what kind of work goes into training and skiing at that level in cross-country skiing. The kind of prize money, basically just the whole industry as a whole, because it's very similar but very different than freestyle skiing or another action sport. So with that being said, this is our interview with Ritchie. Hope you guys enjoy and buckle in for the ride. Also, quickly before we dive into the podcast, just want to say a big shout out to everyone who likes this podcast and follows it. If you guys haven't already, give me a rating on iTunes. It helps me out a lot. Helps the podcast just grow and grow. And like I said, we're coming to take over the podcast scene eventually. Well, very soon. And yeah, big shout out to everybody who supports the podcast and the companies that are supporting it as well. Red Bull, thanks for supporting the podcast, as well as all the people that are supporting me in the season. Vertic Outerwears, Wear Leathers, K2 Skis, and we're just moving on to bigger and better things each day. So we'll see you guys on the other side. Welcome, creatures of all shapes and sizes, to Banged Up with Bruce Oldham, aka The Kid. This is an action sports podcast, the likes of which the world may never have seen before and may never see again. I hope you guys enjoy. This will help with it.
Sick.
Good.
All right.
Yeah, sick. It's good to see you, buddy. How have you been?
Man, it's been a while.
Are you up in Thunder Bay now?
Up in TV right now. Just
training
every day, living life. It's been good. How about you? How's the kid?
The kid is doing good.
Yeah, doing good.
Yeah.
Training hard.
I dropped my camera got dropped, so one of them's fucked. But it is what it is.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm working on fixing it, but yeah, cool. Well, I'm stoked to have you on, buddy.
Man, me too. This is the most, out of all the podcasts I've been on, I'm definitely looking forward to this one the most. This is gonna be sweet.
How many podcasts have you been on?
Not gonna lie, this is the first one.
Nah, I like it.
Yeah, I know. I got you there.
Yeah, cool. Well, fuck the one camera, it's gone. The other camera,
okay.
We got one other camera rolling. If not, we'll just do audio, and I can put your beautiful face up on the screen. Sweet, man.
Thanks, big guy.
Cool. Well, welcome to Banged Up with Bruce Oldham. We got a new microphone. If you'd like to check.
Thank you.
This.
Oh, thanks.
It looks good. I know, right?
Oh, that's a nice microphone. That looks high class.
It is high class. It's
Right
the newest investment. Anyways, as you can see, the hair's short, and I don't know how I feel like it.
I was just gonna say, I was just watching one of your vlogs the other day, and I was like, Bruce has way shorter hair than he did the other day.
I know, dude. My girlfriend made me cut it. It was getting out of control, apparently.
Did she cut it?
No, she cut it the first time earlier at the beginning of COVID, and then this time I told her not a chance because she absolutely botched it the last time.
Nice. We have a lot of trust. Like my roommates and I, we all cut our own hair, and honestly, it doesn't even matter. It grows back, it works out, and it looks good most of the time.
usually I'm pretty okay with it, but sometimes I'm like, all right, that's enough. I was also going to grow it out for ski season, but the back of my hair grows out like way longer than the front, and then like I just have like a long ass back, and then it's like, well, I have like an unplanned mullet, so I either need to make a forced mullet or not.
That's kind of cool though.
Cool. All right. Well, for people that don't know who Graham is, you're a longtime friend of mine. We grew up in the same town. Absolute badass guys. Graham is he's got the Georgia Bay shirt on.
Parry Sounder right there, big guy.
Parry Sounder, Georgia Bay. Graham is an absolute beauty and first non-action sports athlete on the podcast, but I would have to say he's probably more badass than most of the action sport athletes. So Graham, for all the people that don't know, is a cross country skier, and the dude gets it. You get it. Gets out there and hustles. So for everybody that doesn't know you, I guess we'll dive into it and tell us your story, Graham. How did you? Yeah, you know what you do.
Like Bruce said, we kind of somewhat grew up together. Went to school for the most part together because there was only one school really. So
yeah.
And then you know what? Went through high school and then kind of started skiing. I've been skiing like my whole life, basically since I was like young. But then really started to take it seriously in about grade 12.
Yep.
Actually, so pretty late, but
same as me.
Training. So basically, cross country skiing. We train hard, just like you. We train hard.
You guys probably train harder than us, than most people in my sport. I can guarantee you that.
We trained pretty hard anyway. Started taking that seriously grade 12, and then so it's been about 4 years. I guess this is the fifth year now that I've been training full time, and then getting closer to the goals every day or every year. Getting closer and
closer. And for people that don't know, Parry Sounder is kind of, I wouldn't say big. It's pretty big on cross-country skiing. It's like kind of like what people do with their parents and what you do as a kid.
For how small it is, it's a pretty big community there for sure.
And I'm not going to lie, that's how I got into I got into cross-country skiing and I used to race a lot. And I mean, my short little legs back then when I was in high school and elementary school, I was
might have only been 3 feet tall back then.
If that. I was way too short to be competing and getting those nice things in, but it's a fun sport
you're a fast runner though. I remember that.
Yeah.
The Caver Hill every year. Be like, oh damn, Bruce is gonna win. I know it.
I didn't though. Anyways, it's definitely one of those sports that's you have to push yourself pretty hard. And for me going we have the local cross country ski hill, I guess, or track.
Trails, yeah.
What's it called?
Whatever you want to call it. Just the trails?
No, but what's the actual club called? Again.
It's called Georgian Nordic.
Georgian Nordic, yeah. Anyways, I grew up doing 360, making little jumps and hitting them on cross country skis and stuff.
That's what we all did.
It was fun. We used to send it there. Anyways, so you grew up doing cross country skiing and stuff, but how did you start competing and how did you start you said you didn't take it seriously till really seriously till grade 12ish, but when did you start and how did you get into competing in cross country skiing?
So honestly, I got into competing based on a couple of other buddies that I had that kind of really they were like, Graham, you got some potential here. You should come racing, because and that was Noah and Malcolm Thompson.
Yeah.
And so they really got me into the racing part of things. So so it starts with cross country skiing. You start with Ontario Cups. That's kind of the lowest level, and then you go to NORAMs.
Yep.
And then there's Canadian Nationals, American Nationals, and then there's World Junior Championships and U23 World Championships and World Cup and then Olympics kind of thing is the whole stepping stones.
Yeah.
So really just got into it with them and really liked it. Started to get better. It's pretty contagious when you start doing something and you can only get better from there.
Yeah.
And you keep getting better and then it gets addicting, So
for sure, it's like running and stuff.
And that's still what I'm doing now. Just trying to get better and better every day, and it's been a good ride.
So is that what you like about it? Just being able to push yourself and get better at something and progress?
Yeah. 4 years ago when I started this, I would have no clue I would be where I am right now.
Yeah.
This is now my 3rd year on the national ski team.
Yeah.
And it's just been, I couldn't have called it for sure back then. And the Olympics are 2 years down the road. So
yeah, you're getting ready, big boy.
Pushing for that. And
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, we'll see how she goes in the end. But yeah, couldn't say I would be doing this back in high school, that's for sure.
No.
I was planning on being in the NHL, just like all of us.
Yeah, Parry Sounder, besides cross-country skiing, the big hockey town. So, I mean, that's probably why you got in cross-country skiing so late, and for me, for downhill skiing so late is because I played hockey. Yeah, we played hockey for all through high school almost.
It was so fun too,
yeah, and lots of fun and lots of, but then moved on to different sports here and there. And
gotta pick and choose. Can't do everything.
No, and then so let's put it this way. So grade 12, you were in grade 12. Were you competing in NORAMs or anything then, or?
So back then, I think I might have done, I just got into it, so I think I was just racing basically provincially. I think I went to nationals for the first time that year, kind of thing.
Yep.
So pretty low key, and then the year after that started to step it up and travel more for racing.
So here's the question that I have, because it was just personally because I want to know, because I don't know like I don't know how I made my decision, but how did you decide to like? Because you went to school, but you're also like when you focused on skiing. Like,
yeah. So I'm like.
So how did you decide to do that? Like, or
honestly,
why?
Why? I took a gap year after high school.
Yeah,
I didn't go to school, and I just decided to pursue skiing. I saw potential, and I was like, I like it. I love doing it. Like, you gotta love it because it's really every day of your life. It takes up.
Oh yeah. And you guys are training a lot.
I just want to do this, and then year after year, it's like still like, I want to do this, and then your eyes get open even wider every year, and you're like, you want to just like, you see bigger goals ahead of you, and then you're just like, let's just go for it. And now I'm in part-time school right now, and it's kind of just on the side. Yeah. Because like I can only take like 3 classes per term, like at the most, because of the amount of travel and
training you have to
time that it takes up. Like last winter, I only spent like 2 weeks in Thunder Bay, and I was in class. I wasn't even online.
Oh,
so,
no.
like, it's hard to do school when you're only, like, in your town that you're doing the school in for 2 weeks of the whole term. So, yeah, it's been a slow ride to school, but yeah.
Yeah, so how far are you in school then? Or, like, are you doing a 2-year, 4-year program, or what are you doing? You don't know?
I'm in first year still.
First year still, yeah.
It's I'll be done that, though, this fall, actually.
Yeah.
I'm planning on being finished that, but yeah.
Sweet.
Just nuts.
It's cool that you can do both because...
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not really worried about school right now. Got tons of time for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I mean, you can only train so much and you have to have downtime and stuff, so you might as well fill it with something like that.
Exactly.
And keep your brain active. Work. Yeah, exactly. Because you're working too. Yeah, busy man. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, for me personally, I found like, because I tried to do school and do skiing too, and it was way too much. And like you said, you were only home like 2 weeks. I was home 1 year when I was in college. I think it was 2 years ago. I was only, for my second semester when I was traveling, I was only there for like 3 days of the second semester. And it's stupid. It's damn near impossible. So what does your course load look like? Do you have all your courses online or now? Or?
Right now, yeah. Well, obviously right now,
yeah. Everything COVID-wise?
Yeah. No, I really don't put like a whole lot of focus in school. That's why I only take I'm in one or two classes right now.
Yeah.
Just to like have on the side, but no,
for sure
is definitely the main thing with life right now.
Cool. Well, I guess everybody kind of gets to know Graham and his beautiful face a little more. So let's talk about what goes into it, because a lot of people think people train hard and stuff like that, but when you're in a sport like running or cross country skiing or like those sports for that matter, like it doesn't come down to like your trick, like what the tricks you can do and stuff. It comes down to, I mean, obviously technique, but like almost solely like based on like physical performance, like how you can perform and how you can push your body. So you have to really, really put a lot of emphasis on training and being in the gym and stuff. So what goes into that for you, man?
Yeah. So for example, what goes into that? So today I did a 5-hour ski this morning.
Roller ski?
Off. Yeah. So we do. Yeah. So for training, we run, we roller ski, we go to the gym, and then because training. Basically, all of our important training is in the summer. Yeah. Like, we're training year-round for this, and then winter is just racing. So, yeah, basically, to put it in a little summary, so basically my last 10 days, I've trained for 50 hours total in the last 10 days, which is a lot. Like, that's a pretty, like, the training peaks and, like, it goes in pyramids, basically. So we just finished, like, a really big chunk of training with 50 hours in 10 days. That averages 5 hours a day. So like, that's like, imagine going for a 5-hour run every day kind of thing. And we go to the gym twice a week. So basically 5 hours of training every day for the past 10 days is what I've been doing. So if I look a little tired, that's why.
Yeah, you did. You're pushing through. And then are you working on top of that too right now? Or?
Long story short, that's what we do. But like, what's that, sir?
Are you working on top of that right now or no?
Right now, I'm not.
No,
not with that amount.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. So yeah, we don't have much time for anything else. But,
sorry, continue.
It's just like wake up, train. Sometimes it's all your hours in the morning. Sometimes it's 2. So you wake up, train, recover for the afternoon, go out again in the afternoon, come back, eat dinner, go to bed, wake up, do it all again, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really living the life of an athlete.
Every day. Yeah.
At the level you're at now, what kind of emphasis do you put on technique? Like, do you have to work on your technique and stuff on snow, or is it mostly just, like you said, training in the off season, like for pushing yourself, roller skiing, and like in the gym?
Yeah, most of that's all in the off season. But yeah, technique is huge. So yeah, we.
But you guys got it dialed
we're
from
working
now.
on that. Working on that all year. But yeah.
And then, so when the snow comes, do you do a lot of on snow training, or do you mostly just compete and like just stay like healthy for and like in?
It's mostly
recover?
just like maintaining the training, staying healthy, and just trying to race fast. Basically, is what it is. Yeah, because you're traveling so much too. So
yeah.
So I guess not get sick.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with everything that's going on now. What does your competition season look like with COVID, or up in there still?
No clue.
Yeah.
Completely up in the air.
Join
which is
the crew.
Too bad, but yeah, it's completely up in the air. But yeah.
Yeah, no idea yet.
Yeah, we had last year Last year was a good year.
Yeah, last year was a sick year.
Last year was a great year, but I have no clue what it's gonna shape up to be this year.
Did your year get? I think we were talking because for people that don't know, when Graham's back in town, me and Graham go running, and I have to keep up.
And I'm home for Thanksgiving, so we'll definitely have to go for a little
sick.
jog.
Yeah, for sure. Graham pushes me and makes me get my shit together.
I was home in the summer. I texted this guy. I was like, "Hey, come for a run," and he texts me in the morning up, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, man, I can't make it." Oh, come on.
I was lazing around, man. I was lazing around.
Oh yeah, we're gonna grind out some good runs. Though.
Yeah.
We had a good battle in the spring going on Strava there for those who
didn't
see that.
Yeah, in the spring, for people that follow me on Strava, Graham was beating me, but I don't like to be beat, so we were running.
You ran a marathon, man. I think you won.
I ran a marathon, but Graham probably put in overall more kilometers. But we were pushing each other. We were running like 20 kilometers in a couple days, or in a day. Sorry, it was pretty brutal. Yeah, it was fun. All right, well, I guess What does your competition season look like normally? Like, how many comps do you have, like, throughout a course of not a COVID winter, a regular winter?
Yeah, so we normally start in end of November.
Yep.
Usually like early December is like when the NORAMs start. So we race like 4 different NORAM circuits, or 5, because like nationals is also a NORAM. Mm-hmm. So we travel to all the NORAMs, and then from those NORAMs they give you opportunities to qualify for World Juniors or like U23 World Champs, or like Senior World Champs, or like World Cup.
Yep.
So basically last winter my season was we were out west racing NORAMs before Christmas, and those races that was basically just a NORAM just to start off the year, and then we had another one right after Christmas. Yep. And that was actually a qualifier for U23 World Champs and World Juniors and whatnot, and I was fortunate enough to qualify for that, so then I got to go race in Germany at U23, so that was pretty awesome. And then we were back to Canada, and then another NORAM, and then that was to qualify for World Cup, and then again was lucky enough to qualify for World Cup. So I was actually I raced my first European World Cups last year, which was super cool.
Pretty gnarly.
Awesome experience. Oh man, it was next level for sure. Yeah. But I was stoked to get some World Cup racing in under the belt for sure, and looking forward to that hopefully this year again.
So I have a question with that, because it's kind of like so is your front, like, can you pre-qualify for World Cups in cross country skiing, like if you're like the top athletes, or how does that work? It
basically is just like you have to
every year
win a NORAM. Basically, like there'll be a NORAM, and it'll be like, all right, this NORAM, whoever wins this is going to World Cup.
So you can't mess up in one of these one event, and it's not based off it's not like
it's
the top 3. Yeah, it's not the top 3 in these NORAMs get a spot to the World Cup. It's like whoever wins this specific one.
It's like if they have 4 spots to send people to the World Cup, it's like the top 4 people go from the NORAM kind of thing.
That's so so different than what we're used to, because for us it's like all your scores based off of last year, you get a spot. So you would get World Cup spots.
Yeah,
and
there's one spot for that for us. It's just whoever has the most points at the end of the year.
Yeah, gets
the one spot, but then after that, there's it's just like you got to qualify.
But that goes throughout.
But
that goes throughout all the all the not like the Canadian team though, like
Yeah.
like it's just okay because
Yeah,
like
the whole national team. Yeah.
for us, the only way to really get a World Cup spot at NORAM level, if you're competing in NORAMs for downhill ski or for freestyle skiing, is I think it's the same with moguls too, but I'm not 100% sure. But you either have to be on the national team, and those guys get to pick who gets World Cup spots based off of the people on their team and like basically like how the people have been competing that season. But it's not up to like the athlete of like if I was like had last year, if I did like really really good NORAMs, but I didn't win the NORAM Cup or I wasn't on the Canadian team, I would have no chance of getting a World Cup spot, which is like very different than this. Because like if you won a NORAM Cup, you'd be getting a World Cup spot, or you'd be
it's kind of different, but like it's similar but so different.
Yeah,
that's sure.
Cool. So
we have basically we have the same races. We both have NORAMs. We both have World Cups, and it's just like we all have world champs and stuff, but it's just. Yours is different to qualify. So.
Yours is pretty gnarly though, because like you have like this one opportunity almost. Like you have one event, and I mean, cross country skiing, not as much can go wrong in a run or in a race, or in a race as opposed to a run. But like, dude, people still fall all the time or get tripped up and stuff, and like
I've had some bad,
easily
unfortunate,
that would ruin your chance of getting a World Cup spot that season.
100%, yeah, and it's happened. It happens, but yeah, it just is what it is.
So what is that feeling like? How do you try to avoid that? Like what can you do to avoid that, or is it just like you just try?
You're just mad for a little bit at yourself, and then whatever you kind of get over it. I'm pretty good at that. Like I've got a pretty strong mental brain on me for that kind of stuff. So
I like that description. I love it.
I'm pretty chill.
Yeah,
with that kind of stuff.
It happens.
I don't hold too much of a grudge, but yeah, it's some people definitely take it better than others for sure.
Have you ever had somebody like ruin your race by like running into you or like tripping you up?
For sure. Oh, I try and like not let that happen, but definitely. Like at U23 World Champs last year, I had like basically just had someone rub me out, and it was
can't catch up after that point. Yeah. So what kind of races do you do? Because there's a lot of different races you can do. I personally know that you do more shorter races.
Yeah.
Like sprints.
So there's distance racing and sprint racing. So a sprint is usually around 1.5 kilometers, and that's kind of my specialty. That's what I am better at. Mm-hmm. So that's where I've excelled in all my skiing for sure is the sprinting. But yeah, then you can race anything from 10K, 15K, 20K, 30K, and 50K.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have had good distance races, like around that like 15K point. I'm actually like I have the odd pretty decent race, but yeah, predominantly I'm mostly a sprinter, which is just fun. I like it a lot anyways.
It sounds more fun anyways. So is there a lot of athletes that do both long and sprints, or is it pretty divided between the two?
Everyone does everything really, and just some people are better at the distance, some people are better at the sprint.
So you would compete.
Tends to be the skinnier guys that are better at the distance, and like the kind of a little bit thicker boys that are better at the sprinting.
Yeah, you're a thick boy yourself.
A little bit thicker.
You're a fit thick, as I like to call it. Yeah. So
yeah, there you go.
So do you still do like in like a normal contest season? If there's a 20K race coming up, do you have to do it, or do you just decide I have time to do it, I'm going to do it?
Well, yeah, I do all the distance racing because it's still really good training and really good for your fitness and stuff. Yeah, so I've
never
raced 150K, but like if say I'm at a race weekend and there's a 30K right before a sprint or something, there normally isn't.
Yeah,
but I would, depending on the race weekend, if it was a really important sprint, I wouldn't do the 30K right before the sprint because I wouldn't want to waste all my energy, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I do all the distance races as well.
Nice. So what's the longest you've ever? I think you said you raced 50K, and I think we talked about it. But is that the longest you've ever raced?
Yeah, that is, and that was not fun. Holy, that was long. Pushing
yourself for 50K, I can imagine.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. So do you guys get water in between that? Do you have because like obviously running, anybody that runs, you have either water pouches for marathons or like there's water tables and stuff. Is that?
Yeah. Obviously, so we basically our coaches and support staff are out on the trails with like feed bottles, we call them. So we just like pre-mix Gatorade and whatnot and put them in like little bottles that you can just grab and sling on your way by, kind of thing.
You just slam them down your throat on the way by.
Yeah, just slam them and keep going.
So you just like grab it with the pole and just slam it back?
Yeah, but 2 hands, just drain her back.
Drain her back and get going. Damn, and that's only for the longer races, like probably 10K and up?
Oh, that's not until you get to like
30, 50?
20 or 30.
Yeah,
okay. 50, yeah. You don't need anything for the 15Ks and stuff like that.
No, I kind of figured you didn't, because like you don't even need it for running, so.
Yeah.
And you can move, do you clock how fast you go? Skate?
Well, yeah, like, that's kind of how you find the winner of the race, but like it depends on the whole course. Like,
no, I meant by like how fast kilometer wise. Like, what's the fastest you've gone? Because skate skiing.
Oh, what's the fast?
Yeah, not the fastest time, but like how fast you guys motoring out in the track.
Man, well, on a downhill, like quite fast. Like when I've probably. It's hard to say. I would say like on a pretty big downhill on a fast day in the winter, it's probably about like 50 or 60K an hour. It's not like crazy.
That's pretty good, especially on cross country
roller skiing in the summer. I've hit like 70K an hour
on roller skis,
which is a little bit. That's pretty fun. Actually,
what happens if you hit a rock? You're just done.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a risk you got to take, I guess. They don't have brakes on them, so you kind of just got to send it, you know?
Yeah, I guess you can't slow down.
Yeah, no, not too quick.
So do you try to avoid the big hills then? Because like.
No, we just kind of deal with it.
Cruise. Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty. So, but wait, you do skate skiing, right?
Yes. Well, skate and classic. Yeah. Both.
Do you do sprints for classic?
Everyone does both.
Everyone does both. Okay.
Everyone does both.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, everyone does both.
Yeah. Explain the two for the people that don't know, because there's a lot of people that don't know.
So, classic skiing is like your more traditional skiing. If you picture what everyone's probably picturing cross-country skiing is, like walking through the bush with some skis and poles.
Yeah.
Like
people going
on
hunting.
skis.
Yeah.
Yeah, striding away, diagonal stride. That's called classic skiing. And then skate skiing is more like your hockey stride. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. Skate skiing is pretty obvious. You're basically skate skiing.
Yeah.
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 Cool. So, what's the coolest place you've been, man? What's the coolest place you've been for cross country skiing, or the coolest race or event you've been in? You can do both too. Dab out both if you want.
I've got both.
Cool.
Coolest place I've been. I gotta say, I really love Switzerland.
Yeah.
And France. Honestly, they're so tight because I've been to like the Alps in Swiss, like Swiss Alps and the French Alps, and that was just like both of those places. Actually, really cool. Honestly, I might have to switch it to France actually from Switzerland because that was so nice. It's amazing over there.
I've never been.
I would say the French Alps. I've been right near like Chamonix.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah.
Like you know the water bottle brand Evian, I think it's called. I've been to that town. That was really cool. That was in Switzerland actually, but it's on the border. It's like Swiss-French border, like on the Alps there. It's just like amazing. I would say that's my favorite. Favorite place I've like skied at.
Yeah. Or event you've been to.
Okay, so I was at a race in Italy last winter at the site of where the 2006 Torino Olympics were, and that was amazing. It was beautiful there, and it was just a cool experience to be on like an Olympic course. But like as far as Canada goes, I would say 100% Silver Star in BC. Silver Star Mountain.
Really,
BC. That is. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, I honestly in the middle of winter, it's just beautiful there.
It is, yeah.
It's so nice.
It's a really nice mountain.
I would say that's my favorite place in Canada that I've skied for sure.
Cool. So how much do the courses vary? Like over.
Quite a bit, honestly.
Over events, yeah.
So, like I was saying, the course we were at in Italy there, at the Torino Olympics site, that was probably the hardest course I've ever been on. Like, it's super hilly, really technical, just a crazy hard course. And then later in the year, I was at a city sprint in Germany. So it was on the streets of downtown Dresden.
That's
Germany.
Pretty badass.
So that's just like flat.
Yeah.
With a couple man-made bumps in the middle of Dresden, which was unreal. Like, it's just, there's so much different racing happening. Yeah, it was warm. Like no snow other than the man-made snow on the loop.
Damn.
It was a 600-meter loop they made, and we did 2 laps of it for the sprint.
Basically like a track.
Honestly, basically, it was really cool though. So yeah, there's a lot of variation for sure.
And does altitude come like into play at all when you guys are doing anything?
Oh yeah, altitude is hard.
So do you guys train for it, or how do you do, or do you just like try to get used to it?
Sometimes like this year we haven't had any. Like normally we have training camps with like the national team. Yeah. But this year, like this summer, there hasn't been anything because of COVID. But normally we'll go do an altitude camp like somewhere out west in Canada, or like a couple years ago we went down to California to Mammoth Lakes.
That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Yeah. And we did a like altitude camp there for 2 weeks. That was a sick place as well. I don't know if you've ever been to Mammoth, but
I have. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's amazing up there.
Super sick.
That's sweet, dude. Cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome. So I guess I think you were talking to me about this, but you're like currently on the national team for the last 3 years, but every year you guys have to re-get your spots. Like, it's not the same as us where, like, once you're on the national team, like, obviously if you're not competing well or not doing well, you get the boot for our sport. But your sport, like, if you don't get the results, you're not on the team next year.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, I think, I remember us talking about that in the spring. Yeah, so you got to qualify every year. Like, so, yeah, that's what I've been able to do. I qualified through World Juniors. My first year I made it. And then, again, the second year. And then last year, just based on results. So yeah.
Is that ever a worry? Like worried about not qualifying?
Oh yeah, well, kind of. Like it is really cool to be on the national team. So it's like you wanna get those results to be able to be on that team.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it'd for sure be a bummer if you didn't. But yeah, it's pretty cutthroat though for sure.
Are you pretty at this point? Are you pretty like confident you can like you're gonna get those results each year, or is it still like? Pretty like I'm gonna try my hardest, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're gonna try your hardest. Yeah. And like you kind of have to have confidence, or else you're just not in the right mindset. Yeah. So, yeah.
But at this level, like if you perform, you're gonna like get the results you need to be on the team.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Sick. Cool, dude. Well, I mean, do you want to tell? You have a pretty. We were talking about it, but I don't know if you can talk about it. But you had a COVID-19 incident on one of the trips, if you want to talk about it. If not,
well, it was just like
not incident. It's just like cutting it close.
Kind of, yeah. So like, yeah.
You have to worry
in March, it was going to be an awesome end of the year. We had 3 World Cups that were going to finish off the year in North America. We were going to race in Quebec City, like city sprint in Quebec City. It was going to be awesome. World Cup, and then we were going to go, like, so it was a little tour, and then we were going to go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, and ski there for World Cup, and then head out to Canmore for the last one. And so I flew, actually it was funny, earlier, I was actually in Italy, like, 2 weeks before it got shut down, so I was lucky I got out of there. And then we basically flew straight from Europe to Quebec City for World Cup. Like, all the nations showed up except Norway. And then, Norway was like, no, we're not coming because we're probably not going to be able to get back to our country. And then all the other countries showed up and basically left, like, 2 days later because everything was this was at, like, peak. Everything was getting shut down. Yeah. Countries were like, all right, everyone get home. Like, get back to your home countries. And, like, we got to, like, tighten this shit down because it's about to, like, blow up or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the countries are dipping out. Everyone goes home, like Russia, like Sweden, Norway, Germany, Italy, France. They all dip out, and it's just us and the U.S. left. Yeah. So we're just sitting in the hotel with America, and we're just like, well, boys, is it just going to be us for this World Cup? And then whatever, it eventually got shut down. Had a night on the town because the season was over.
Yeah.
And then everything got shut down. The Minneapolis World Cup got shut down. Canmore, everything. So then we're like, well, what do we do now? And so we just went out with the Americans, had a couple drinks, and then packed it in and went home. But then a few days later, so this is where the instant story comes into play. A few days later, we get a text from all of our coaches, like, hey, gotta let you guys know this, but the hotel just contacted us and said there was a positive case in our hotel. Yeah. So everyone has to quarantine. And we were like, oh, no. So yeah, that was my first 2 weeks of getting home.
Yeah,
like,
because we were trying to run.
It was about a week into being home, so it really wasn't good.
No.
Like, because I was like, oh my god, like, I don't know who I've been in contact with. Like, I think I've been to the grocery store and stuff, but turned out everything was fine in the end. But yeah, it was kind of a little unsettling to hear back in the whole big wick of things that there was a positive test at the same hotel, at the race hotel. So it was apparently it was one of the Finnish coaches that tested positive. So it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's pretty funny because we were trying to run, but you're still quarantining and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of that. So I guess I got like
nuts.
a couple more questions. Just spitting out questions here, Grammy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready. I'll take it.
You're taking them like a champ, man. Fire rounds.
Right on.
I like it.
Right on. I hope to get the invite back sometime. So
dude, well, no, when you're back in town, we'll come and do a podcast on the casting couch, and we can
with the new fridge.
With the new fridge, I'll show you the fridge.
Question. Oh yeah, let's see the fridge.
It's got towel. It's got towel over it because Pat sleeps in here, and you can't sleep with the light that comes from it.
Yeah.
I can't believe I filmed this podcast with the light over there.
Okay, guess what? I got one too.
Do you? Oh, that's sick.
No way. It's got the essentials.
Oh, Grams, you got a Red Bull fridge too.
You know, I don't have the sponsorship yet, so I don't have any Red Bull.
I don't got the sponsorship yet either, so. There's.
See, my light is off. Mm-hmm. I had the same problem with the light. I didn't like it on, but I just took it out.
Oh,
but yours looks cooler in the podcast with the light on.
Yeah, anyway. I gotta keep it in for product placement. Oh, so it does look really good.
Man, but that's so sick. I saw that the other day. I was like, oh, that is badass.
Yeah, they're just.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
For a Red Bull.
You're gonna have to come over for a beer and a Red Bull, and maybe some other stuff for sure. Cool. So, what is funding for you look like? Because all sports are different, and all sports have different amount of money and revenue coming into them. And this is something I don't talk a lot about on podcasts, but I would like to talk about it a little more. So, like, what does it look like being at like the level you're at now in terms of paying for? Because like I know how much it is to travel to all those places. You know how much it is, but like what covers that cost and like
so
what goes into that?
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of money in cross country skiing, that's for sure. So most of it is everything is out of our pocket. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I have equipment sponsors, which is awesome. Like I'm sponsored by Rosenau and like Leclerc and like actually this guy's right there.
Yeah. Oh, nice hat.
And just like a bunch of equipment brands like that just help with all that kind of stuff, subsidies. But then like it's called carding. I have. So it's like I have
for the national team, you get carding.
I have a Canada card and a provincial card.
Yeah.
So
me too.
I just received some money from like Ontario and Canada, and that covers that helps out a lot.
Does that cover most of it?
Yeah, like pretty decently. Like you're not really making money. Not making money. I wouldn't say at this point.
But you're traveling and training and competing for free.
Yeah. Like
or
honestly,
for like
it's like
zero expense.
Yeah, the experiences are just
worth
it for sure. It's been amazing. Like I don't even care if I'm like
for sure
not even making that much money. It's just so fun.
It's fun, yeah.
For sure, you get to see so much cool stuff.
My Ontario check came in today. Actually, it was just upstairs. I was stoked. I got I got
the same shirt as you too. There.
This one, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, we were both at Canada Games last winter.
Yeah, we were both at Canada Winter Games.
Stupid as hell. Oh no, it was last winter.
It was 2 winters ago. Yeah.
Cold as friggin' all.
It was cold as balls.
Alberta. Yeah. And you were. Oh, I was so bummed because
we missed by a week.
It was the week before, and then cross country skiing was the week after. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there with Bruce," and then it was like, "No, it's there a different week." That sucks.
It was a cool experience, but it was definitely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sick. You got a bronze, eh? That was dope in the half pipe, which don't normally do.
No, I don't normally ski half pipe at all. But I will say for freestyle skiing, the level of competition at Canada Winter Games was a lot lower than in NORAM. Not a lot lower, but lower than a NORAM, yeah. I don't know what it was like for you guys, but it was...
Ours was about a NORAM.
Yeah, ours was like a little bit less than a NORAM. Not much less, but a little bit less.
Ours was like... I would say maybe ours was slightly less than a NORAM as well, actually, because there wasn't as many qualifying spots. So there wasn't as many people there.
No, there wasn't as many people. For us, the biggest thing was the course was... I mean, you saw the hill that was there. It was not a big
Barely.
ski hill.
You can't see it. There was no hill there.
It was a ditch in the middle of Red
It was
Deer.
like a kid's hill.
Yeah, so the jumps weren't that big and stuff. And then for the half
Yeah, I
pipe,
don't
we
know why
obviously
they
went
had
to
Red
the...
Deer. They literally like groomed a golf course, and that's where our race was.
Yeah, no, it was like
Like,
the world's tiniest ski hill. It was like 100 feet of vert. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but
that's dope.
different for sure.
Took the dub in the sprint on that one too.
Yeah, you did, Big Daddy. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
That was a wicked. That was a sweet weekend or week, whatever that was.
For sure. So do you guys, for us, like World Cups, obviously there's more money in contest, but like NORAMs for us contest funding doesn't, winning a NORAM doesn't cover a whole lot. You might get $2,000 if you're really lucky. Is that the same
Yeah,
for you
no,
guys?
we're way less than that.
Yeah.
You win a NORAM and it's like you win $550.
Oh,
Here.
yeah. Go kill yourself.
Yeah, no. So
what
there's
are
not a whole lot of prize money for sure, but like there are 3 races in a race weekend for us. Like there's 2 distance races and a sprint.
And there's
so if you win
500
all
in
3,
each?
then you can win like whatever $1,500.
Okay.
So that's not terrible.
That's
but
all right. It's still not
me being a
great for
sprinter,
that
I
level.
usually only have one opportunity.
Yeah.
So
And then World Cups and stuff, like obviously competing in World Cups, it's hard to win. But what's the prize money there, or is there much?
it's decent actually. It's quite good. Like if you're consistently winning World Cups, you're making quite a good living, kind of thing.
Yeah. And is there anything for cross country skiing in terms of like not X Games, but like is there any big races outside of World Cups that people put on, or places put on?
There's no X Games like that, but like
No.
there's the Olympics, of course, which is like the biggest. That's kind of what everyone strives for. And then there's like senior world champs, which happens every 2 years.
Okay.
And then like under 23 world champs, and then world juniors. So
And those are the big events outside of World Cups.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick. Cool, dude. All right, well, I got the last question for you, big guy, and
Right on.
we'll wrap up this podcast because we've hit 40 minutes almost.
Oh man, it doesn't even feel like it.
I know. Well, I got to look at your cute face, and I got to hang out with my
you
Red
too.
Bull
Thanks,
fridge,
babe.
so I definitely need to have a shower, though. I haven't had one in a while. What is your plan, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? I've been asking people this question for a while, so...
That's a deadly one.
It is. It's a deadly one, and you know what?
Man.
Some people know what to say, some people don't. Some people have to think about it, but...
I don't even know what I want to like go to college for yet. Like, honestly,
Fair enough.
I'm in business right now, but like I don't know. I just took business. Like, honestly, I have no clue what I'm gonna do after skiing. Like, I could see myself still skiing in 5 years because I'm still like progressing. So there's still could be potentially a lot to come. I could definitely see myself like. I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue.
But the goal is competing in the Olympics, right?
I'm definitely gonna ski until the next Olympics for sure, and then figure it out from there. Hopefully, compete at them, and then go from there. But honestly, I have no clue. Like maybe I don't know. Honestly, maybe I'll be. I can't even think of anything.
Maybe transition to freestyle skiing.
Maybe I'll transition to freestyle skiing. Maybe I'll that'd be fun. Honestly. I don't know about the whole upside down thing though.
Maybe you're just racing down
flips.
racing. Well,
honestly, 5 years, that's such a
it's a long time, man. It's way out
question. Like that's like it's a long time, so a lot can happen in your life.
26, man. That's how old I'll be. 26?
That's how old we'll be.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll be doing 26.
We're 22 right now. So yeah.
26, 27. And like
I
that,
don't know. Like,
maybe you'll have a kid.
that.
Maybe you'll have 3 kids by then.
I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah. Because you just been sitting there thinking about skiing, and now I'm like, 5 years from now.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Don't flip the script on me. You're not allowed to do that.
Who's done
No,
that?
I'm the host.
Nobody's
Okay,
done that
so
on the podcast. Where do you see yourself?
So 5 years from now, I mean, obviously anything could change. Obviously things change, interests change. Maybe I'll have a kid. Maybe I'll find a kid that I had already
That's
previously.
what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, who knows? There might be a little Bruce running around out there. We don't know. Anyways, 5 years from now, hopefully I will, like you said, my goal is to compete in the Olympics and at the highest level in freestyle skiing.
I hope we're both there.
That would be pretty
and
sweet.
Megan, she'll join us too. She's probably gonna be there like better than us.
Megan will be there
never know.
this year. I guess it's next year now, isn't it?
Next year.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah, we're all gonna be there. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Anyway, so yeah, obviously competing at the Olympics. hopefully the podcast and the YouTube stuff takes off to a little bit where I can support myself at least a little bit, because, you know, I like doing fun shit with my friends and doing fun things like this with my friends. And it'd be pretty dope if we could have like just a badass like Pastrana land. That's what I want eventually too. Pastrana land set up, and we could have a little podcast studio, a bunch of other stuff there. And I mean, after
banged up, going big,
banged up and living with the kids, going big. But I think, I mean, for me, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of other interests outside of skiing, and like obviously skiing's like kind of my own. But dude, honestly, I could see myself clapping. Like, I mean, ideally, I do like compete at the highest level in freestyle skiing for a while, and I don't know why, but I have a really big. I got a hard on for fighting in the UFC, so I would do. In 5 years, I could see like in 5 years I could be like, yo, I'm done with skiing. I've done what I want to do in skiing, and then move on to like trying to fight in MMA or something like that.
Man,
that'd be cool.
I've seen you doing that. I'm like, I don't want to fuck with Bruce, man. No more. Like,
nah.
I don't want to kick to the throat like that.
I mean,
jeez.
I'm not that good yet, but I mean, eventually, hopefully.
Man,
it's kind of been like my side.
sick.
It's been like my
That's
little
awesome.
like, I don't know, like keeps me sane when all I'm doing is skiing, because like it gets a little repetitive sometimes.
Oh man, yeah, it's like some good training too.
Dude, it's insane
Fit guy because of that, you know.
It keeps you in shape, but also I get a lot of
good.
injuries from it though.
Oh, but your cut is hell, eh? So what even matters?
I'm trying to stay in shape.
There you go.
You know, who knows? So when are you coming back? You coming back for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, come back Thanksgiving. Should be back on 7th, maybe something around there.
Sick.
But
couple days or a week or?
Do you mountain bike at all? I was gonna bring my mountain bike. That's
I don't
another
have
thing
a
I
mountain
like
bike.
Okay. Well,
I'm too
maybe
cheap
we'll
to buy
borrow
one, but I would love to. But I'm too cheap to buy one.
Sick. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but maybe you can pull me behind your mountain bike on my ripstick or something. We'll do something like that. Cool, dude. Well, I'll just turn off the podcast here. That was great. Thanks, everybody. Thank Graham for having
Sick.
for coming
I
on.
don't take up any more time here. I already blabbed on enough.
No, it was good, man. I
fun.
loved having you on. You're one of my You are my favorite guest to date.
Let's go.
All right, lads. So as you just heard, that was our time with Graham. I got my retainers in, so this outro is going to sound very disgusting. But, yeah, awesome podcast with Graham. Every Tuesday, the podcasts are coming out. If you guys got any value from this or you enjoyed it, like I said, like the video, give it a review or a rating on iTunes or YouTube. It helps me out a lot. And also, if you guys want certain guests on the podcast, leave comments down below. I'll try my best to get those people on. And as we go along throughout the podcast, I'm going to continuously put some more money and effort into making it better and upping the quality for you guys and really figuring out how this thing works, because look at me. I'm not a kid that podcasts. I'm a random person from Parry Sound who likes to ski, and I don't know. It's moving on to bigger and better things each time. So I'm open to tips on what you guys think would make the podcast better. I'm open to guests. I'm open to pretty much anything. I'm even free Saturday night if you want to call me. But I'll see you guys in the next episode of Banged Up with Bruce Oldham. And if you guys want to follow the Facebook group, we have a sick Facebook group called Action Sports Community. Check it out. And yeah, see you around. Deuces.